welcome to Comic Book Squares. We have another great show today. This is going to be another interview with an artist. My name's Shane.
I'm Paul.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mike. Let's get this show started.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. Steve, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your book.
All righty. Hi, everybody out there in TV land. Steve Mannion here. I'm an artist and creator from Western North Carolina right now via New Jersey. And I don't want to go back to New Jersey. I'm staying in Western North Carolina. Come join the fun if you'd like. My number is 659-722-34578910. And we're going to talk about this here book. It's Fearless Dawn Shorts, I guess, right? These guys. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Let me bring it down a notch. Yeah, man. Fearless Dawn Shorts. This was one we put it out previously, and we got new covers. It's going into the shops nice and cheap. It's going to be friggin' $4, so you get it then, and it'll come out in about August. These guys, once again, thanks a heap for having me on. I don't know. What else? I got a problem with my teeth. They've been hurting. This one friggin' popped out, man. You know what I mean? 1973, the guy put that in. It finally popped out. Starting to hurt last night. I'm pushing.
Well, I mean,
well, Steve, this is the part where we usually have our guests do a little dance too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No,
that's it. Steve wins.
There we go.
Steve wins. Well,
thanks, guys.
I mean, honestly, before we jump in, I'm just going to say, I'm looking at your artwork. You are far and away one of the most talented individuals that we've been lucky enough to have on our show. Your art is, I'm just blown away by it. I absolutely love it. So, I'm so happy to have you on the show because you are so talented.
Thank you, Shane.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I'm laughing my ass off at all the Fearless Dawn and the other adventures. Oh my God, man. You're free.
Oh, that's great, man.
Because you kill me with that stuff. I was lucky enough to get, because Frank from Asylum had sent me a few hard copies and stuff. So I was reading through those and just dying, and then had to show my girlfriend, and we were just laughing our ass off. So
that's great. That's what we want. We want to.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had a great job for a while. You know, you get that feeling, but then I was like, I draw smiles. It's a pretty great job, you know. Like I make people's day. They get to escape from stuff and just have some good, clean fun with the book. So that's what I want to hear, Ben. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so, how did you even get started? Because I know you've been doing this for quite a while now. How did you even get started into doing comics and
that's
art and writing and everything?
Well, my whole career has almost been like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? When I look back at it, it's I was in high school. It was like a punk rock burnout, you know, and this Joe Kubert flyer came in. I always read Mad Magazine. Oh, yeah. My mom got me Mad Magazine, so you could probably detect that influence in the work. But I wasn't a big comic guy. Yeah, just a little. But I wasn't big into I liked Frazetta. My dad's a better artist than I am, but he just never did anything with it. He wasn't too good with the rejection, and you need that sort of to be a commercial artist. But I went to the Kubert school. I still flubbed around. I don't think I had much self-worth at the time. I don't know. I just I got screwed on a couple of my first freelance jobs going out and just got this job at a gallery. And then I was like digging holes for a while and stuff. Coming up on my 30s, I don't know. I had a feeling like, wow, I better do something with it. Maybe I could try. Maybe I could clean up my act a little bit and get into this. I paid a lot of money. I paid off my Kubert school. And I got in. I started sending samples around and rejections just coming in. And on the coldest day, I got something from Blab magazine and said, this stuff is really good. I can't use you, but you can probably go far in this business. And I was like, whoa, it's just enough when I was ready to just quit, you know? And I tried again, samples. Job came up at DC Comics, lettering. I got good at lettering. Joe Kubert always said, get good at your lettering. It'll get you in the door, you know? And sure enough, I got this job at DC Comics in the bullpen fixing lettering, because it's all done at the time. Out of house comes in last minute. Hey, they spelled football wrong. Can you put a, whatever it took? And I was like working a Xerox machine a lot. It wasn't a lot of glory, but I was in there meeting editors. And at the same time, I get a job from Eros Comics. They say, Fantagraphics can't but if you can draw some dirty stuff, we'll certainly publish it. And they friggin' let me do that. I don't like to mention this because it's a shame. I even went to Joe Kubert. I go to Joe Kubert and I was like, Joe, what do you think of this? Should I do this? And he was like, whatever it takes, but it's not the direction I'd like to see comics go in. And I loved Joe, so I was like, ooh, he doesn't like that too much. He liked Indiana Jones, and that's what he thought comics should be, just good, clean fun, and yeah. But I did it, and it was good. It taught me how to do a full book. They were like, do a full dirty book, but I just couldn't draw that much penetration, it's not my thing. Like some people can really get in there, and I was like, nah. And the last book they said there's not enough penetration. It's Eros, bro. You gotta put some stuff in it, and I don't want to do that, man. By then I had the day job at DC and met everybody, started getting freelance. I wasn't supposed to, and then I quit. I got really sick of it. I was just like working a Xerox machine, fixing mistakes, and they gave me a bat right off the bat. I had one lady go see my husband, because it's like, go see my husband at Marvel. I go over there. First thing I get, Captain America Sentinel of Liberty. They sent me a big stack of paper like that. I said, oh my God, I'm in. Look at how much paper they sent me. And I finished up Captain Marvel, issue 10, and nothing. But that editor came back to DC. It's so incestuous, He comes to DC. He's there. He called me up Batman. They were stuck with this Bat. So I hit like Captain Marvel and Batman, my first two books at the big two,
That's awesome.
Everybody's like, you don't do that. You start out on a low rung character, And but I did a couple Batman, and that just fell apart. They stopped calling me. I have a quirky style. It fit when they were in a rush. They were actually looking for Bill Ray, whose work I love. William Ray, you may be familiar with it. But they had him for the job, and he said, I ain't doing it. And I was like, Batman. And it was a rush job because he was late. And every day, there's nothing like waking up and just being like, this is so great. And I just got to draw the craziest Batman. They were all little. That was Detective Comics number 753. But that all dried up. And I was like, what am I going to do now? I did a little work. You remember when the kids used to have to buy these Scholastic books for college? They had to buy from Pearson Education, Prentice Hall. Ooh, they just shouldn't say that name. But I got very lucrative work. A little panel like that, $500, and he's apologizing. I was like, I was just making $75 a page over at DC Comics, you know what I mean? And that dried up, and that's when I started with the Fearless Dawn idea. I was like, what am I going to do, And eBay, a lot of my career was like on, what am I going to do? I had these Batman pages. I was like, maybe they're valuable on eBay. There's these original art collectors coming around. This is probably 2004, 2003. And putting up the Batman pages, they're going for $35. You know what I mean? Oh, I wish I had them today. I wish I had them. And you've heard other stories, right? And I'm not talking too much, am I? I'm sort of.
No, you're doing great.
No. This
is interesting. I like this.
All right. So I was like, what am I going to do? Oh, I got the Batman pages, $35. And I'm looking, and this other guy, he's got a picture of Catwoman. She got a tight outfit on with the friggin' boob sticking out, and it's going for like $60. And I'm going, I'm going to try that. Let me see, make her shiny, Catwoman, with the boobs sticking out, with the everything, the areola and the little dots. I was like, okay. And then I got $60. So I was like, wow, I'm going to start drawing pretty girls with really tight fitting outfits, And my characters weren't, but always Vampirella or something would do good. And I paid my bills doing just eBay for a little while. And then I said,
wow,
I said, I feel bad ripping off everybody's character every day, you know? And I was sneaking mine in, but they do like 40, but Vampirella might do 120 or something, you know?
Wow.
I put up, I'd put up a picture of Hulk and it'd get like 30. I draw a good Hulk. So I went over there.
And you could see his areolas already, too.
Green, darker green than all around it. Anyway, what happened? Yeah, I said, I'm going to draw my own book. And I got this idea for a character. And it was much more, I was using like real clear, like Stan Lee sort of storytelling, you know, right on the nose and stuff. But I started to get enough issues together and I couldn't sell. I was starting to, from like eBay, a guy goes, hey, I was getting commissions. And then a guy goes, hey, there's a show down in Hawthorne, New Jersey. Free. Come on down. And I got there and that guy said, hey, I'm in New York. I booked the talent. This is great. I'll bring you. And I got that, you know, and it just, boom. Hey, another guy, I do it in California. I'm flying in a plane for free. Friggin' selling pictures of girls with their boobs and monsters. I mean, it ain't so bad, right? I'm not the biggest. I ain't Jim Lee, man, but I'm like in this hotel, like, wow, this is nice. I didn't fly in planes or nothing. I'm like a white trash miracle sitting here, man, telling you all about this stuff. I should be laying in a ditch, friggin' begging change. I'm going around selling these pictures, you know? So it was cool. And it just, then Frank Forte, when I had enough books, he goes, I want to collect this for you and put it into the shops. And that was another level. And then, my daughter came and said, what am I going to do? And I saw Kickstarter and we tried that. And me and my wife were like jumping up and down when it hit the goal. Like we hit the goal and then like Bleeding Cool picked it up and the whole thing's been like a real slow growth, you know, and I was just willing to try to roll with the times, follow the money and sell. I always been humble enough to be like, I'm going to start this eBay at $10 and wherever it goes, praise the Lord, that's what I get. You know what I mean? And I try not to be, I should have got this, you know, I got that. That's the reality of it. And it's enough.
Wow. That's so cool. I mean,
it's blown me away. I'm loving the stories, Steve. Gosh, it's so interesting, I think, to again hear, you know, these personal paths that people are taking in order to, you know, stay passionate about their craft and you know, with the Fearless Dawn, was that an idea that you had for a while? Did it come up like really suddenly, like you were talking about a little bit of desperation mode, or how did Fearless Dawn come about then?
That's a good question. I was looking at I liked Lobo, I liked Tank Girl, I liked J. Scott Campbell was doing the Danger Girl and they kind of weren't doing those. And I was like, boy, that's the kind of book I'd like to see. Like kind of powerful chick with a machine gun, wearing a bikini, fighting like Nazi zombie monsters. I knew I'd like that, doing that, you know? And I got some knowledge from when I was a kid. I liked history stories. I liked World War II. I still do, you know, and I like dinosaurs. So Nazis riding dinosaurs. Who don't want to see that? You know? And I friggin' drew that, you know, for the first Kickstarter. And yeah, I did have an idea. Like it was much more formulated in the start. Like I had her as this kind of poor kid who finds a costume, and she's wondering if she's a hero or not, and it was all kind of based on that Joe Weider, like getting sand kicked in your face thing. If you look at the bomb and she's wondering, and she beats up this bully, Betty McGillicuddy at school. And Betty, of course, looks just like Betty Page. I don't overthink this stuff, you know. And she wins it, and she's like, maybe I am a hero. So she's like this reluctant hero, and she's not a hero. She's fearless. She's scared to death. She's Fearless Dawn, you know what I mean? And it was sort of right itself, you know. And I put the due date in one, and we got the print on demand. So I'd do like 100. I did 100 of the first issue. It took me a year to sell 100 of them. I was like, man, this is rough, everybody. I'm sitting at the thing with my table, and they're, oh, look at that Batman toy. And they went, oh, what about the new book that I got? Oh, oh man, this blows. It's a friggin' year. The second issue didn't sell nothing. I had to draw a picture on it and put it on eBay because my original art by then had gotten some footing on eBay, so I could sell them that way. But the whole thing, it was going real good like that. I wish I had the patience to really flesh it out, because I think the story was better. But I came up with this Nazi girl, Helga von Kraus, and she went on eBay like nuts. So I was like, man, and I felt a little weird drawing this girl who was kind of still in high school, so I wanted to like grow her up real fast. So I put it into the future real fast, and I could draw Helga in and sell her, and to this day, I don't know what it is, the costume design or nothing. You got to give it to Bill Blass, man, because I just kind of copied that, and just kind of followed it wherever it went. I like the one with the giant dog that you just held up. That was pretty.
Yeah, yes.
That came out.
Yeah.
But
when her little dog all of a sudden...
Yeah, he gets big.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, I was like, this is back, because I had this character as pirate, Brownhole Jones. And he was sort of like a fart joke, like he just, how far can you go with like a guy named after your ass, you can't go real far, right? And I couldn't think of his but I couldn't think of where he came from or what he really did. He was like real 90s character. Like he looks cool, all substance, no, like all look, no substance, But Fearless Dawn, I can imagine what she was like, what her father was like, what her mother was like. And if you get the bomb, you'll see. I think we're going to run that through the shops after this shorts issue comes out. Okay. But yeah, it more or less, she was easier to write. She seemed to have more dynamics in her relationship. And I drew it like, you hear about like I thought of, it's actually like Yogi and Boo Boo or something. Like she's like, well, we shouldn't do that, because her and Betty become friends, and Betty's like, let's go do that, and she goes, well, I don't know if we should do that, like I just stole that too, it's like Fred and Barney or something. If you look, you'll see, you're like, yeah, that's Fred and Barney. So it was fun. Foils, they call those foils in writing, what I mean? And they played real well off. Then I killed her off and stuff, and then I got him crying. I wanted to draw more serious. It's too funny. I wanted to make it serious, and that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Buy the book. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. Buy it now.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Make me cry.
I know. Well, tell us a little bit about this latest Kickstarter that you're doing, the shorts, and tell us how that came about. Oh man, I'm getting so tired in my old age. Like I said, these stories, I was like, man, I wish but now I'm getting tired, and so there came a point I could just do like little short stories, I was like, what am I going to do now? I don't want to do a story arc that you got to make into a movie. I'm going to kill myself, man. So I came up with this idea to just do these shorts, like of history. There's like history's weird, man. These things that happen, So I sort of made this intro page and just fun stories that would like play out in like 4 or 5 pages, just little chunks that I could finish, And I was like, that's pretty cool. I'll compile them, and it'll be a fun read that you could just anybody could pick up. You don't got to go searching for all these back issues or nothing. You can just get in there and enjoy yourself. Of course, gross dinosaurs and beautiful chicks are at the center of most of it, This is the Kickstarter edition. They sent me one with a page is missing out of it. I think that's what that's all about. So I don't send it to some poor schmuck, and he gets a fucked up book. But anyway, it's got here it is. And then there's a story, Devil's Den, in there. Like, I don't know, there's the Gettysburg battlefield. There's like the Devil's Den was a place where a combat, and supposedly to this day you see all sorts of apparitions and everything there. So they're like they're history lessons as well as like folklore. You know what I mean? I find that very interesting. To do that kind of thing, like Hellboy was brilliant. When I worked with Mike Mignola, and I was like, that's so smart. All those characters kind of
he'll pick Scandinavian folklore and all these neat little stories that are sort of fleshed out for you already. And then you put Mike Mignola's a genius. I don't use that word much, but I did this without knowing Mike yet. I did that with the short stories. General Mudd tells the story of like all through the ages, whole armies like were stuck in the winter, and when the spring thaw come, they were stuck even worse, and they would lose campaigns and stuff over it. Just Mother Nature got in there and threw a wrench into the works of any of the greatest armies that ever marched the field, you know. And I found this stuff interesting, you know, and would just follow my nose that way with it and have something complete. To always be kind of releasing and keeping something new in the news, you know. So I don't turn into some friggin' old fart or something. Right? I am a friggin' old fart. But yeah, that's where it came from. Just shorter stories that I could take a bite off and chew, you know, and collect them later. For entertainment purposes only.
Honestly, I think you need to start going around to the conventions, just doing a stand up, because I would pay money to come listen to you talk for an hour. You're hilarious.
Thanks, man. Sometimes I think I missed it. I missed the friggin' boat. You know what I mean? I should have been a comedian or something, but that's rough too, right? You friggin' get tackled.
You get bored of this.
What did you say?
You just go start getting on stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I always kind of like making people smile. I was always a little bit of a class clown, stuff like that. And I had a band. We did pretty good. We were a real silly punk rock band. So it's sort of in my blood. You gotta laugh or you're gonna blow your fucking brains out in this world, man. Come on. Right. We need comedy, right?
But I've
Absolutely.
seen. It's funny because you mentioned that because I reading like Fearless Dawn and all that stuff. I definitely you mentioned Mad Magazine earlier too. Like I noticed your sense of humor always coming through, because what I loved about like in Fearless Dawn and stuff too is like the little background bits that you throw in. That reminded me of Mad Magazine too. Like one part there was one I was reading one of the issues where she's flying on her plane and talking about, you know, quitting drugs, whatever. But you see all the stuff flying out behind her, like pills and all this stuff.
Needles.
You have to look in the background, you kind of see everything. Yeah, needles. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I noticed that with the humor. Is that something that we're gonna see in shorts too? Like your little background, you know? Because I know it's probably a little harder fitting in within these stories and everything.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
See some of your,
Yes, there was a guy who I was doing, and he said, "I love this stuff. You could always tell the love that somebody puts in. I'm not just filling I'm just not filling the requirements of the script. I say, what if there's an alligator in the back biting a guy or something, like the kind of stuff in a Mad Magazine you could go back and sort of enjoy again. You know, I always wanted the art to have something like that. It's a little more fun. Why not? You know, I loved it when I do get into it. I might complain every once in a while, but. Come on, man. I sit around drawing dinosaurs and monsters. It's not that bad. You know? But yes, I love to put that kind of stuff. And I followed, like, I listened closely to fans, like when he said that, like, I like to see something a little in the back, a little story, maybe, a little joke playing out, or a little monster, like a little frog listening to the conversations, looks scared, stuff like that. And Mad Magazine all the way, yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, it reminded me like Zucker Brothers or something too, like Airplane, where there's just like a joke a minute. There's things just everywhere. You have to constantly keep your eye out for the next bit. You know.
Yeah, that's a big. I laughed very hard at that, and I liked. It was quick, but you don't see too many TV shows. What was that, 30 Rock? I thought that was really good for you guys. And you could go back and you could see it again, and there's another little joke in there. You know, I love that kind of stuff, layers to something like that for the enjoyment. And I don't know. Yes, I will put that in. I enjoy it. I can't help it, almost. You know.
No, that following along that same path, yeah, that to me, it's always like a almost like a movie or again a story where there's so much there. Like you're talking to us, Steve, about the shorts, where you're these quick hitters, which I think is a fantastic idea. Again, kind of like the old Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine, stuff like that, where you have these little nuggets, right? And you're like, ooh, I'd love to see more of that. And so, if you're able to get feedback on certain shorts that people really liked, you could maybe have another story about that. But when you're packing in so much content into a short, I think it's so much, like you said, it's so enjoyable to be able to go back and look at the backgrounds or look at even the way that you letter, to describe an emotion or a feeling and all that. And that brings even, I think, more joy sometimes, like when you go back and watch a movie or read a story for the second or third time, even you catch those little nuances and you catch those little details that maybe perhaps you missed, the first time through. So I love that your passion allows you to just pack all that in, into those short stories. So I'm very excited for these releases that you're bringing out.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Sorry, that wasn't really a question. That was just a comment on how much I enjoy your style. And then also your artwork is beautiful and fantastic, and I love how you can even apply different styles. And when you said earlier on, you talked about Verzetta and your watercolor style is beautiful. I mean, I always thought that his work was so. I can't imagine getting that level of detail with brush. Has that taken you a while to kind of to develop that, or is that just a talent that you had like early on where you picked up a brush and you're like, wow, this is looking pretty good?
I was always good at art. Came kind of easy. I looked at my dad. Like I said, my dad was, of course, your dad's like the greatest thing ever when you're 2 or something. My mom said I was 2 and I was drawing a pretty good car. She said it looked like she might be bragging, and I'm not sure. I'm her son. But I can, as far back as I can remember drawing an airplane. Of course, I had both. It was like a 3/4 view, and I had both wings were the same size. And I remember my dad criticizing me, saying, "This one's going to be smaller because it's perspective." But I'm 4, so I'm like, "What?" But I was looking at him, and I love drawing. Like you could just get clay. You could get me pens. Squeaky. Remember how smelly those big stinky magic markers? I love that. Maybe that's why I'm like a little sniffing around the clock. Make me all messed up. But no, and then I got to school and I was still better than most people. I don't know. And when I got to the brush, even the Kubert school, Tom Rainey, he said, it's natural in you. He noticed that I had, and I was kind of oblivious. I could always work with like most tools, I found airbrush a little problematic. I'm a little organic, so to get a smooth thing and have it go, it drove me crazy. But I was always good at it. It did seem to come right out. I didn't have to really. I'd like to take classes, and I like to stay learning like that. If I see somebody's art, anything from anime to Frazetta to a new person, I try to collect it and look how they do it, and still learn to this day and keep myself open to learning. There's always more to learn, which is awesome. But yes,
trying new styles and stuff too.
Yes, I tried to draw My Little Pony. My daughter got into that, and I just, you come. It's funny getting a child, and she loves these ponies, and all of a sudden I'm like, these things are pretty funny. I don't know if you ever watch a show where you got kids, but it's really kind of good, the music is like, the band is real. I'm like, they're all singing really good, we're all in the car going to comic shows singing these songs, and she of course My Little Pony every time in the car for 4 hours out to Lexington, Kentucky. You start to get to know the songs, but I started liking them, and I'm trying to draw My Little Pony, and then one day she goes, I don't like those ponies anymore, and it broke my heart. Because by that time, I love the song, but she's getting, that's life. She's growing out of that. She likes the girl with the funny green hair that sings all the sad songs all the time. I forget her name, whatever. But, no more ponies, man.
Those
So
sometimes
we're leading up to a. Oh, sorry.
So I'm just gonna say, sometimes those phases only last for a short period of time. You just got to enjoy those moments, and because you don't know how long they're going to be with you, for sure.
It was really awesome. And it's funny, I become a fan. Even what's that friggin' dinosaur? The purple dinosaur, man. She's like,
Barney.
Barney.
Oh, Barney.
ooh, I'm going, geez. And then like a month later, I'm like, Barney's all right. I'm okay with that. He's pretty cool. I can watch this. It's so weird, right? I thought that was
A little sketchy at first, but
Oh yeah, I thought it was the dumbest. Since I saw it, I was like, "That's the dumbest idea ever." It's $1 million idea, and it's like the Pied Piper of every like 1.5, 2 to 3 year old, and she only did it
Right.
like Shane said for a little while, and then she had millions. She's laughing, But I don't know. There's some magic in there. Somebody thought
you
that.
know, Steve, what's going to happen is you're going to be humming that song in your mind when you're drawing your next short. You're going to hear Barney singing in your mind.
Oh no doubt.
I love you.
Ooh. Oh my God. I'm glad.
I mean, maybe one of the dinosaurs is a big purple dinosaur.
Shows up, punch.
Yeah.
That'd be bad, right? That'd be bad. Oh my God, that wouldn't be good. Don't want to do that. No.
Oh, it could be fun. I was just thinking, like, I was going to say earlier, like, because you were talking about drawing My Little Pony, I was like, are we going to see shorts with Fearless Dawn meets the ponies or something?
Yeah.
She gets her cutie mark.
Wow.
I watched that show. I had a daughter too, so.
Oh
I have a
yeah,
daughter, too.
yeah. I would like. I think there was some story, and I wish I did it. I did it for Eric Powell. I was doing a little work with Albatross, and we were doing Spook House. It was short stories for kids. Probably where subliminally I got the idea for shorts. But one of them had a pony, right? And I was dying to like just rip it off and put it, but it was going up. I was like, are we going to get in trouble for this? I really wanted that to be in there. Just like all of a sudden this pony shows up. It's totally My Little Pony, in this monster book. But I didn't do it. I would like, that's not a bad idea. Some sort of generic kind of world of popular.
I'd be a fun parody. I'd read that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You got to see
Stomping on Nazis.
Oh man, Nazi pony. There is a Nazi pony.
Yeah. There you go.
With a little helmet.
Oh my God, with the cute little ears, smoking a cigarette. Oh man.
There you go. There's a short. There's the next short.
It's up there. Bing.
I love it.
Oh man.
Oh gosh.
Well, I wanted to ask. So you've got this project going on. What are your plans next? What next things do you're working on?
I've it was neat through this whole experience, I guess, where it's brought me. I have like 3 revenue streams. I got eBay, I got Kickstarter, and then I sort of have what all else flows in. You know what I mean? So I got a pretty firm bedrock there in what I do. This is almost on that all what else flows in. Like I said, I got these books laying there. I'm gonna call Frank and see if he wants to put this through the shops. It's done. It'll go through maybe to a couple bucks. And he brought up, it's been out of print. Maybe it'd be a fresh new thing we can make. I like making money like twice. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to do shit like that. Where I can like, how can I sell this again? It's kind of exploitative, but there's a market for it, and they won't buy it if they don't like it, and it'll still be a good experience and stuff. But I have these 3. I got a secret project that's got me going. I don't think I'm ever going to be done with it the way that guy's giving me work. So I take that on, and I'm trying my darndest to get that done. Just squeeze in my stuff on the slide, but I'm actually kind of financially doing well off. And those other things, in case he gets hit by a bus or something, because I think that's the only way that works. It's like a 400-page graphic novel. I think he's doing another one. What's up, Lucy?
Holy moly.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not joking. I ain't joking, woman. I got a ramble. In the mighty words of Led Zeppelin. So
Ramble on.
I sort of can't talk about it and stuff, but
That's okay.
Thank God, man. And it's neat how all that stuff I thought was a disaster, I was just willing to try, just stay passionate. Like, I think those are more important than like the career or something. Just staying, not getting bitter, because I've delved into that too, and just start, and it just takes so much out of you. And I'm my worst enemy. I'm finding in my old age. You know what I mean? And but there's things I do that bring joy that aren't comics. And I got real sick right before COVID, and my eyesight went out. I wonder if I had it, but I was so sick. I'd never go to the hospital. I told my wife, take me to the hospital. But I lost my eyesight. And I was like, all right, Lord, I guess I'm going to learn how to fill out like the papers to get like, disability. This is where I'm. And I had peace, like this peace came over me where I was like, cool, I guess I'm doing this now. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the heck I'm doing now. One day at a time. I tried to get some of that work done for that guy, and I got some eBays going off in a little while, and I'm just going to live life, try to stay positive, help others has really been a big part of just keeping me. It's not all about Steve Mannion anymore. To be honest, my life is kind of in the shitter right now. It fucking sucks. I'm going through a divorce.
Oh my God.
Sucks.
Oh man.
We don't got it. Maybe we'll take this out. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll take this part out. Yeah.
Maybe you should leave
I'll
it in.
edit it.
It's a fucking shit show. I'm laughing about it. Oh my God. So yeah, maybe you should leave it in. I don't know. You I don't fucking know.
Well, Steve, I tell you what, my man. I think that so again, I think we all have personal challenges, and to be able to speak on those and to be realistically, I think the thing that people should take away from any challenge is that, if you have the right mindset and if you have the ability to understand bad things are going to happen to you sometimes, like you said, it could be a medical thing where you love, if you think about an artist, what's the worst thing that can happen? And perhaps taking away your eyesight, you're like, holy cow, So you look at these trials and tribulations of life, but to have that positive mindset and to say what you just said about trying to bring smiles and joy to other people, and that's the whole premise of this show, is just trying to help people that maybe don't have a voice or are struggling with some challenges and just trying to get their passion out there. I mean, I think anyone and everyone can relate to that at some level. So I don't see anything bad about mentioning challenges, because sometimes that allows you to grow so much more as a person, and what you're doing and bringing us joy with your books and your stories and your artwork and your comedy, it's a beautiful thing. So I guess always know that you are making people laugh and you're making them enjoy your talent, and seeing your passion is fantastic. So just keep that close to your heart, if you will. So
I will, Mike. That's about the best thing. Thank you. It's
absolutely.
This is like one of the better interviews I did, and I'm like, man, maybe you should leave that out. I'll make a part you can put it. Well, I think I mentioned challenge and health challenges and stuff like that. And that really does help to think about somebody else besides myself, And it's a challenge. It's I get depressed and lay there. Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I go to this group thing, and I'm like, holy cow, that guy. Whoa, that happened to him, and he's still smiling. It's like part of the human experience to be.
Absolutely.
I started to actually think that, like, I wouldn't have, like, I saw my daughter little. She's learning to walk, and she's going, and I'm trying to catch her, and I'm like, boy, she has to learn to fall and smack her face. I'm not going to be here all of her life to catch her. Like, there's going to be some pain, and she's not going to learn how to. Like, if I do that, I'm in pain, and actually it's probably the most precious thing that happened to her. I'm starting to even fall into a thought like that. Like, this gives me something to help a fellow sufferer coming along to get through it with some semblance of like use, like it's useful. It's not just a veil of tears that will, you know, that's that route,
Right.
you know, and like maybe I can help somebody with it. And all of a sudden, all these people are showing in my life they're having struggles going through relationships, you know, and we're sort of all walking together with different, we're all flipping out, and maybe this guy, you know, and that, you know, doing what we're doing, you know, getting through it together, and we're all holding each other up through it all. And that's really, I'm starting to think that's what I'm here for. And the comic, here's one of them now, but I can't talk to him. I got him. But there, right there. So we what's that?
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, I know that's kind of a common theme among people that we've been interviewing, is that you know, you have to be able to deal with people saying no, or they're not interested in things. And it, to me, that tells about, again, what kind of person you are to be able to keep after it and keep that passion alive. I know that we're just one of the folks that were interviewing you. Sounds like you've done some other interviews. I mean, we loved your work. We love your artwork, your stories. We say keep them coming, but certainly, you know, hopefully when you start to hear more and more of that, you will start to realize, you know, that you're, you know, that is a widening scope of people that are enjoying your passion. Because I know I certainly am just in awe of your talent, the comedic relief, just the way that you're able to project your artwork. It's fantastic. So we will enjoy it as long as you're willing to put it out there.
Sounds good, Mike.
Yeah.
Good to hear, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, this was just such an absolute pleasure. I mean, it was so nice getting to meet you, Steve. I mean, you're just an amazing person, and we're lucky to have you on the show. So I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us. It was fantastic.
No problem, man. Thanks, Shane. Thanks all
for
you
being
guys.
here,
Thanks,
Steve.
Ben. Thanks, Mike. Any last questions? Anything you gotta do? We just sit here, do. What happens now?
That's okay. I'm gonna do a quick wrap up for the show. And you got something, Ben?
Well, I was just going to say, to remind all of our viewers, check the description and the show notes and everything. We'll have links off so you can start pre-ordering Fearless Dawn shorts, and make sure you check that out. And then also we'll have links to the website so you can order back issues and everything. Because the shorts, you don't need all the story, right? But I mean, there's still so many other stories that she's been in, so we'll get the back issue links on there as well. Oh
yeah. Buy Atom Bomb Comics, the stupid comics. Yup.
Can we use that clip and just keep...
Yes, absolutely.
Stupid comics, yo. You sure can. I give over all rights for you guys to exploit this in any way, shape, or form that you feel necessary. Be my guest. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. Well, that was just an absolute pleasure. We absolutely love meeting artists and hearing about their personalities and their work. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so we can keep bringing you content like this. And we'll see you on the next one.